Hey, welcome back. I'm here today to talk about an SEO tactic that I think is really underrated right now. It's been around since the dark ages, but it's really gotten a new life in the era of AI. And the crazy thing is, it costs less than 100 quid. I'm not going to bury the lead here. I've got it up on the screen. It's the humble press release. I think that press releases at the moment are doing a lot of heavy lifting for getting quick, snappy SEO results, both for traditional local SEO, but also they're having some great effect actually as part of your AI SEO stack as well. So I'm going to cover off a few examples of where I'm seeing this, other commentators also bringing it up, and how you can use the humble press release, less than 100 quid, to help accelerate your local SEO and your AI SEO at the same time. So kicking off, this is something that we've been talking about for a while now. Set this out back in September, and it was just how did we influence AI's knowledge of Ask Optimo, a tool suite that fatjoe runs. And you might be looking at it and it's a pretty direct query. What is Ask Optimo? It might not seem like, well, pretty easy to get in, and why would you need a press release for that? But I'd say just think about your average local client, the backbone of most SEO agencies. Sure, if you're working for Deloitte, it's probably not needed. But for a local client, a press release is a great way to just reinforce, to take any kind of a brand message that you've got and just reinforce who you are, why people will care, why you're trustworthy. Just getting that initial boost of PR coverage is a great way to just solidify. If you think about most local competitors, they're not going to be doing this. It's an immediate way to give you or your clients an advantage over the competition. It just, here we've got an example here, just asking about Optimo. Perfectly reasonable query that someone might do if they've come up with a list of potential options, and then they're going to go, well, I've been suggested these ones, as ChatGPT tends to do. It's a bit of a suggestion engine, really. Then you go on, do your extra research, and here you go. Press release feeding directly into those responses. Might seem a little bit of a small one, so we're going to bring it out onto this excellent study brought up in a recent email as well. But Joy Hawkins did a fantastic, we've got the post here and also a video, which I'd recommend you go watch. I'll include links in the description of this as well. That she basically did experiments with press releases, and she came up with 3 excellent results from them. So for the first one, she had a local realtor, again, backbone of any SEO agency. We get plenty of these kind of clients through our agency clients. They saw an 83% traffic surge. That's mad. From a simple press release, okay? Obviously, they're doing other the work in the background, but the press release is really what made the difference here. Great. Immediate selling point for press releases. Case number 2, they had a bit more of a slow burn effect, but they absolutely took over the local packs and therefore, down the line, had a greater organic impact as well. Again, because this is the kind of thing that we SEOs, we know about press releases, we've known about them for ages, but they really are overlooked, and a lot of local competitors, they're not going to be putting in this work. So super quick, super simple win that you can put in place for your clients and just have them shoot above the local competition. But the one that really caught my eye, and is something that we've seen ourselves, and I'll be covering off, the AI effect. In this one, they've distributed a press release, and then they've noticed that after the press release went live, they saw, the normal gains, but the AI overview for their main service keyword actually changed to quote directly from the press release. And that's where press releases are really having their moment in the sun at the moment. AI. Their ability to influence AI from something as simple as this, 100 quid, get a few press releases out there. It's actually something that we're seeing from Carl over at Smash Digital. I'm going to be quoting this one here. I will say I've got the Google Chats to back up that this is something that we've been talking about at fatjoe for a while now, so not just robbing Carl's idea here, but he is much, much better at giving it a catchy name. So he's calling it AI stacking. But the pretty simple concept is get something you want to be known for, so the kind of USP building that fatjoe we're doing with our brand mention service, get a USP out there. So for fatjoe, as we'll see in the examples, we want to be known as the agency for agencies. We're the best SEO services for agencies. We're scalable and we're white label. Obviously, we'd love to be the best agency, but not realistic. So you've got to pick a USP and really hammer it home. And Carl's bringing that into his AI stacking process. So the idea is you go out there, you get, a brand mention, you get a listicle saying that you are the best at XYZ. You offer the best product, you offer the best service. And then using the humble press release, you stack that. So once you've gotten that coverage, you go out, you generate a press release pointing to that, where you've been named as the best option, the best product. And through the press releases, you'll then suddenly, it goes from being mentioned once to being mentioned 300, 500 times, however many you want. And that really reinforces to AI. Once it's seen it once, it will go, okay, cool. There's a little bit of kind of buzz around this, but AI loves to see consensus building. And what easier way is there to build consensus than to just flood the market with, we've been named as the best for XYZ. It's actually something that we've been trying here at fatjoe as well. So we've been, for example here, best link building services for agencies in 2026. We did this one a little while ago, so it has dropped down in the news, but you can still see it's being pulled through here. fatjoe named best link building service for agencies. Something we exactly want to be covered for. We go out there, we secure a mention elsewhere, and then we use the press release as part of that. Like I say, Carl's got a much catchier name for it, AI stacking. Use it as part of that process and then starts pulling through here. We've got it built into the news here. I do have from when it was more recently done, immediately pulling through here. So we have the press release distributed, goes and immediately starts pulling through and then immediately build it in to the AI overview here. AI absolutely loves freshness, it loves recency. So one thing you can do is secure that initial boost of being named as the best in your space. And then, like I say, it's only 100 quid a pop. Once a month, just keep distributing press releases about the fact that you've been named the best for XYZ. It's a great way to keep your name going up there. We'll see. Immediately it pulled through, obviously, into the newsfeed, as you would hope from a press release. But then that is being picked up and put directly into the AI overview. It's not just from AI overviews as well. Talking at the time, a lot more pull through directly into ChatGPT and into Gemini. And you can see that we've got lasting results as well. So fatjoe consistently being named as scalable and agency friendly. In Gemini, it's picking up. We've done press releases around the fact that we're the best for agencies because we're scalable and we're white label. Consistently, you then see that that's what's being pulled through into the responses from ChatGPT, from Gemini, any kind of tools like that. I think one thing really to kind of note with the press release distribution is that it's a bit of an iceberg effect as well. So diverting slightly, but something I found that's super interesting was this particular study into the effects of Reddit on ChatGPT references. Now, obviously, we hear a lot about the effects of Reddit. Really had a boom town. I've done plenty of videos and posts all about Reddit previously. You can go ahead and check those out. But what's notable here is that they're saying that Reddit is powering 27% of ChatGPT's web searches, but it's showing up less than 1% in the citations. And that's a notable thing here, I think, that we need to bear in mind with the press releases as well, is that they are consensus building. So in the same way the Reddit information here is being ingested into the training data, and it's being used to form an overall consensus. When you go out and you build a press release, you're not then going to see 350 separate citations in a ChatGPT response, all citing exactly this thing, and that's why we've recommended this brand. You're not going to see that kind of thing. What you're doing in the back end is building that consensus. So by having not just one press release, but say a few about different USPs that you've been named as the best for, or genuine local news that you've got. We mustn't forget about that initial one of just thinking for your local clients. Actual just press releases of they've released this new service, they've just come into business, they've opened a new office. Traditional press release things can still have a great effect in local SEO because that's just a degree of coverage and brand building that their competitors aren't going to be getting. But advancing that a little bit, so going from that initial great local SEO impact, there's the kind of thing that Joy was pointing out in her post here. Building from that local impact into, if you want to be dominating AI and you want a cheap, easy and repeatable way to really give yourself, to give your clients, to give your brand a boost in AI, that's where this entity stacking, as Carl calls it, or whatever you want to call it, just building in those press releases is a super easy way of repeatedly bringing up the same USP, the same great thing that you want your brand to be known for, that you then want to be influencing the responses on. Like I say, it's very much one of those things where it is a tip of the iceberg thing. Sometimes, as in this example, you'll see it pulled directly through. Sometimes you'll just simply have to notice it by seeing that you are more consistently being mentioned in the context of your USP. It's a great way to do it. It's legitimate link building as well. So we've offered press releases for years because of their power for link building. So they're helping with the traditional SEO, they're helping give a local SEO boost, and now increasingly in the era of AI SEO, they're giving that absolute boost of power, that context wrapping. We've Joe Davies, CEO, he's really been calling it context wrapping, consensus building, that sort of thing. And the press release, it's just a super simple way. And I just wanted to shine a spotlight on it now because I think it's going under the radar a little bit. Like you can see, there's more people mentioning it, but on the grand scheme of things, I think when people are thinking through their AI SEO tactics and strategies, I think probably the press release isn't very high up on their agenda, but I really think it should be. But what do you think? Are you seeing great results from, say, for example, press releases or other kind of media coverage that you might be getting? How are you building out USPs, and what sort of effect are you seeing on your AI SEO? Let us know in the comments below, and as ever, I'll keep highlighting these kind of tactics whenever they come up. Cheers.